Replay is sponsored by Brancalonia.
Brancalonia is the all-Italian setting for the 5th edition of the world's most popular fantasy role-playing game. Set in a topsy-turvy version of medieval Italy, this unheroic, picaresque, and roguish world quotes, collects, and mixes references from contemporary Italian fiction and pop culture. You get the likes of the wooden puppet from Pinocchio, the half-demon Malebranche from Dante's Inferno, or even the Puss in Boots, some even as playable species. Spaghetti Fantasy is a low-magic, gritty fantasy with little money for special effects, whose atmosphere is very similar to spaghetti western movies, but with swords instead of guns. The tone is lighthearted, its protagonists are neither heroes nor anti-heroes. They are knaves with little will to fight, chicken thieves, bandits with a heart of gold. After triumphing at the Emmy Awards in Indianapolis, gold for Best Electronic Book, silver for Product of the Year, Best Writing and Best Setting, the fantastic world of Brancalonia returned to Kickstarter with 3 new volumes at the community's request. The Bounty Kingdom Gazetteer, the Spaghetti Fantasy Bestiary, including recipes for cooking monster meat and managing its side effects, and a compendium of adventures. Intrigued? Play Brancalonia and other Acheron games like Lex Arcana and Inferno on Start Playing Games, October 1922.
I took the lead. Somebody's heart.
20 years ago, we played a game. We recorded that game and shared it over the airwaves of a high school radio station. WKEY AM, 1360.
People listened. So did other things.
20 years later, we were invited to play a live reunion show for the hardcore fans.
Little did we know, this time, the game was real.
In this world, the players are confronted with their truest desires
and deepest fears.
And only they can decide when the game is over.
Welcome to Replay.
My name is Haley, my pronouns are she, any, and I am playing Rory, the Fool.
My name is Jen De La Vega. My pronouns are she, her, and I am playing Fern, the Dictator.
My name is Alex, my pronouns are he, him, and I am playing Andrea, or Andrea, the Emotion Knight.
My name is Banana Chan. My pronouns are she, they, and he, and I'm playing Deliria, the Godbinder.
My name is Kappa. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Lucas, the Neo.
And my name is Aram. My pronouns are he, him, and I am playing Jacob, the Master. Welcome to Replay, Chapter 3.
Clipping.
Lucas, you had just put a fair gold into your coin slot. Every fair gold has a name. This one is Enoch. For a moment, just for a moment, you hear a little bit of background static. And it sounds like a recording of a game, but it's not your game. And then the coin slams in, the teleportation is activated, the 3 of you vanish from where you are, go through this scary-ass shadow realm for a split second, and then appear on the deck. There are still a couple dancers there who look startled and run off the deck immediately, except for this one golden retriever himbo-looking dude who turns and sees you, and he's like, "Oh, we're starting up early. All right." And just starts dancing and thrusting all around. Hey, you guys are new.
Fern is retching because that was a horrible experience for her.
He immediately spins in front of you and begins to dance and is looking over his shoulder. Hey, look, it's okay. I was nervous the first time too. I got you. You just tell me when you're good to go.
She's bent over, but she just puts her arms out and just shoves them into his torso off of the boat, hopefully.
I would like you to roll your strength.
Oh, wow. She's got a 4 and a 6.
Yeah, he did not see that coming whatsoever. You shove him and he just goes head over heels, splashes into the water. Whoa. and the big roar and applause and claps, and someone punches someone. You, however, see the little hand puppet behind the bar as he's serving drinks, look up, see you all, and the googly eyes narrow, and he ducks under the bar and comes back with a pistol.
Comes back with eyebrows taped on.
Yes, with angry eyebrows taped over the googly eyes. 100%.
Fern is starting to untie ropes, maybe if there are any on the deck, and she's just kind of moaning as she's doing, don't do that without telling me again.
Deliria and Rory are still on the floor, right?
Nobody's put us in our sweater yet.
Don't let me down.
What's going on?
We're stealing a pirate ship.
Yeah, but who is? It's not, everyone's gone. Everyone else is doing it. It's just us. No. Okay.
Andrea just shouts, how does it feel, Rory?
Getting teleported without me? It's been my whole life. I've never teleported.
Both of you, get over here. We're getting out.
We have to take the stairs.
Yeah, is there an easy, get on? Do I need to try and scale a wooden ship?
If you guys run towards the ship, it's only 100 feet that way, but there is now a full bar fight that has broken out between you and the ship. You could also try and run upstairs, run along the balconies, and swing down onto the ship.
Oh, that does sound like it rules.
Let's do that.
That does sound fun, actually.
Deliria, are you going with Rory?
Yes, I'm definitely going with Rory.
You two sprint up along the balconies. There's people pouring down the other way, but the balconies are emptied out. Rory, you get to the edge, and there is a tied up piece of rope that's holding up this grand candelabra.
Yes!
What do you do?
I grab it with one hand, and then I want to reach out to Deliria with my other hand.
This feels like a team building exercise.
It's easier this way.
Okay, fine.
You both step up onto this railing. Rory, I would like you to roll your dexterity plus your full die. This is definitely foolish.
Oh my.
What? This is such a level-headed decision I'm making.
No, you're right. This is swashbucklerish, which is your other thing. Yeah.
It's very swashbuckler.
It's definitely not carefully planned out. Let's put it that way.
Correct.
Okay.
The math has not been done on this.
I didn't get my fancy circles,
Okay.
but I did get 3 successes.
Nice. Okay, I want you to add a circle then to your die, and I want you to describe to me how you perfectly flip both of you up onto this boat.
I've got one hand on the chandelier. Don't you always want to swing on one? One hand holding on to Deliria. I scooch us back for maximum momentum and then swing us both forward. I let go of Deliria early so she is pulled forward with the momentum. I let it swing back, go forward, and then I jump off the chandelier and do a front flip. Yeah! And then I bow.
And the place erupts in cheers. Absolutely erupts. And as this guy is climbing back onto the deck, soaking wet, he's like, yeah! And he turns to Fern. He was like, that was excellent. You have really good instincts. I'm so proud of you. And he starts dancing again.
Wait, do you want to stay forever?
We're stealing the ship.
We're stealing the ship.
More like a hostage situation, I think.
We're stealing the ship! And he's like, yeah!
Wow.
He begins untying ropes and raising the sail like this guy knows how to operate a ship. This boat has never left, but he must be in the back, reading pirate books, getting all nerded out. He's been waiting for this moment. He just needed an order.
Fern yells after him, your name's not Jacob, is it?
No, I know. It's like a really common name. No. What is his name?
Tony.
Hey, I'm Tony! And he's undoing the ropes. He pulls back the sail. Magical watercolors of teal and blue are shimmering through it, and the very last rays of the sun catch in it, and it illuminates like a lantern, like a stained glass window that is collecting the last rays of sun, and it just shines across you and across the bar as you feel the whole deck lurch. The wind catches it and you pull back from the harbor as the sock puppet is racing along the side, and somehow the end of it is always in shadow. You never see the end of it. Fuck you all! Fucking damn pirates! And you sail off into the sunset.
Okay, that was pretty amazing.
Your excitement has gone back up, Andrea. You are now at 2 again. That was very exciting.
I was teleported, and then there was a hot guy, and then the guy is now back and wet, and he's a pirate too, and it's just like, yeah.
Somehow Tony has acquired an eye patch. You don't know where that came from. Maybe they were just waiting.
I'm a pirate now. Eye patch.
Over their left eye. They are officially a pirate.
Oh, amazing. I love Tony instantly.
So we have a ship, we have a Tony, we have other hostages on the ship too.
Everyone else apparently left the ship, but you haven't looked at. I mean, it's a decently sized ship. It's got 2 decks on it. So there's the upper deck. There's a back raised area where it's the captain's quarters, and then there is a deck below you that has all of the other rooms and the mess hall and whatever other storage, like just for personal needs, and then below that is the bilge and all the heavy storage where all the cargo would be.
Is there a crow's nest?
Of course there's a crow's nest. It's a pirate ship.
Fern is gonna lash her ribbons and make her way up to the crow's nest.
I would like you to roll a dexterity roll for me.
Oh man, just, yeah, 4 and a 5 and a 5.
You barely even look as your ribbon lashes around this rope. A weight is let go, and you are just sailed right to the top and just alight in the crow's nest.
Yeah, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like,
The smell of salt water hits your face. There's a briskness to it that wakes you up. There's just this, just the last enjoyment, the last heat of the day as the sun sets and the stars begin to come out. And I don't know if you've been on the ocean when the stars are out and when you have left the shoreline, but it's as if the blackest black has been pierced with needles, and behind that is a white hot light that just shines through in 1,000 pricks, as if it's just about ready to explode through the sky. And you see above you a cluster of stars and shapes, brighter and in different patterns and more numerous than you could ever imagine. And just beyond that rises this moon, this large, full blue moon, and just off its shoulder, a smaller, pale yellow moon.
Andrea's going to use the chain and the hook to join Fern a little slower, but just slowly climb up and just get into the crow's nest. Hey, Fern, Did you paint all of this as well?
in my dreams, yes.
It's fucking incredible.
Fern, what is a nighttime scene you've painted recently that you've liked?
I think in her spare time, post the show production, she seriously just goes out to the pier every day and paints that sunset. But perhaps due to some, forest fires recently, the skies have been a little more sherbet pink and orange lately.
The whole sky was on fire just before these stars came out. And now that they're out, you're seeing almost like little glistening pools as this phosphorescent light rises to the surface as your ship somehow upsets something, causes some reaction as it cuts through, and just this wave of phosphorescence is spilling off to either side, and you can see shapes within it. This dolphins swimming back and forth, sea turtles being pulled up and rolled over, just playing in and out of the waves, but they're all shapes, they're all water. They're just edges. They're just this water color that comes up from the surface and illuminates and glows in these shapes of sea animals before returning back to the ocean.
Okay. I don't have to go home right away.
No, it's pretty great here, huh?
I don't really travel. I've stayed home, watched everybody else. This is nice.
You know, I wasn't part of the crew back then, but part of the crew now. Pun intended.
She just laughs and claps you on the shoulder.
Clink.
Down below, coming up from the decks, you just hear, well, that was a lot of fun. Anna walks to the surface. She's now like in a more demure working pirate outfit. You know, I kind of suspected you might make this play, and I'm so glad you did. You are just full of surprises. All of you.
I forgot she was here. Rory, why did you?
This is my little surprise, Delaria.
You know who I am?
Of course I know who you are. I know who you all are. Hey, Lucas.
Oh, I knew that they were a thing.
We were. I can tell you some things. All good. All good. Very good.
My demeanor has not changed at all. When she like regards me, it's just a snort from my nose, like a almost a grunt, you know, but through the nose.
Oh, come now. We're not gonna hold on to our old past lives, are we? We're all different here. You're different. I'm different. And as they say that and smile, you see their canines grow and sharpen, and the clear hint of red flash through their eyes of blood and the hunt, and you recognize this creature instinctually as vampire. We all have something new here. No need to play by old rules.
Do I get the sense that this is a consciousness? that this is Anna, or just a manifestation of Anna that is taken from some of our perceptions of this person?
This is Anna without reservation or restriction. This is the full id of Anna on display here. This is bigger and brighter and scarier than Anna ever was. But yes, this creature feels very much like Anna.
Okay, that's a little worrying.
This is a lot like. Did you ever read Dracula with the ship, Demeter?
I don't read.
Yeah, I'm just saying this seems like it's a very similar situation that's happening right now.
It's very fitting, like who given you know.
Well, of course. I do have good instincts for story and drama, but I just needed the boat. You understand? I'm a star. I can't be held back to one little old place. I gotta take this show on the road.
Is she insinuating this is a mutiny?
Well, you have stolen the boat, haven't you? Did all the work for me. You just need to go one little place, and I can help out. Then I'll just take this boat for myself, and you'll take your shiny new boat, and we'll go our separate ways.
Okay, so not a mutiny, just
a collective mutiny.
Like a Uber share type of thing.
Yes, it is. It is like carpooling, except it's a ship. In fact, ship pooling makes more sense because there's a pool.
Okay. You say starboard, and I'll stay port side.
Do you know where those are? And then she points to where you need to go.
And I go in the direction that she points.
Anna just turns to the rest of you. He hasn't changed a bit, has he?
Dibs on captain's quarters, and Delira just runs.
Okay. All right. You run and you throw open the captain's quarters, and it's very clear that Anna has already claimed this. There's all of her shit everywhere.
There's a portrait of Anna.
Boas over the mirror. There's definitely a painted portrait of Anna. Absolutely.
It's an oil painting.
Not a mirror. Not a mirror. It's painted portraits, yeah.
Yeah.
With different outfits.
There is a 4-poster bed just draped in rich tapestries. There's at least 12 pillows, and half of them have tassels.
We're coming down.
Fern yells down. You can hear in the distance. Who's that?
It's me, darling. Good to see you.
Bloodsucking witch.
Who?
I would be hurt, but it's accurate.
Andrea just growls in Fern's ear. It's the replacement.
I see.
The singer, the dancer.
The talent.
The one that Rory brought in.
As you say that, your excitement has dropped. Your excitement has gone back down to 1. Whatever moment you were having up there has been ruined.
Oh, that's amazing.
What a great mechanic.
I see you've met Tony. Hi, Tony. Oh, hey, you're here too. Oh, crew. And he goes back to like tightening up ropes, and he's doing a fantastic job. Like he is doing the job of 3 or 4 people.
We brought a pirate expert on accident.
Fern makes a motion like she's going to push him, but then retracts her hand because he's doing so much.
Also, you are in the middle of the ocean now. He would definitely die.
She knows.
Route update. At our current rate, we will arrive at the target destination in 14 hours.
Okay, that's really useful. I'll let people know.
Alert. The fair gold currently in your inventory will expire at dawn.
And it gives a countdown until dawn, and a little counter appears.
Would you like to know more about Fairgold?
Yes. It, as far as I know, it just supercharges my abilities, lets me access the world in different ways.
You are mostly correct. There is, of course, a subscription fee of 1 Fairgold per day. On top of that, you may overcharge your Neotech for a variety of effects.
Yeah, I think I got that.
Here at Vibe Tech, we're glad you get our vibe.
So what's the countdown for? Like, what happens at dawn?
At dawn, all Fairgold on your possession will disappear.
Oh.
However, it can be used just before dawn in order to charge your devices into the next day.
Okay, that's good to know.
We will remind you every hour until Fairgold has been depleted or vanishes.
Okay, and is that all the fair gold on my person, or?
All the Fairgold in the world vanishes and reappears each dawn.
Okay, cool. That's really useful, and I'm gonna start thinking about like the different applications and stuff. I think for the most part, I'm going to brood.
Yeah. Some brooding's in order. That makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of a lot of stuff came out while we were in the booty. And one of the things that is going through my mind that might cause some action on my part is what Deliria said about writing or not writing the stories.
Speaking of Deliria, as this ship cuts across this Black Sea and the sky fills up with millions of stars, there's a rumble, and you see the waves quiver, and there's a throbbing that seems to be rising underneath your boat.
My eyes fill with stars mirroring the sky above me, and I look down into the waters. My God, are you there?
I am here and everywhere.
believe we are headed towards another ship, and it may take a while for this journey to end. I wonder if it should end.
And you hear waves crash against the sides of the ship, and it rocks slightly back and forth.
It does not have to end, my favorite water bearer. You can be strong here. You can lead my church. You will crash the waves across the land.
What will you need from me?
And you see an image of a tidal wave crashing out of somewhere due to something you've done. You can't quite see what that thing is. It's a little too far in the future. But the effects are clear. You see water rush across the town you were just in. You see it swallow the farms. You see it consume the town whole. And you see, bubbling to the top, the people you've seen, the animals, the buildings, all of it consumed by water. And then you see yourself in the middle, in a little bubble, in all this turmoil, rising to the surface, your arms stretched, floating above, your eyes lit up with power. And you see your god rise up behind you.
Flood these lands, and you will rise to become my favored. You will know when the time has come.
And then you hear the water bubble off, and the sea goes calm again, and the thunder fades back into the distance.
Wow, that was intense. I guess I should probably start redecorating first. And she goes over into the captain's quarters and starts like throwing things out of the room.
Oh yeah, all the feather boas gotta go.
Incredible.
What are the rest of you doing for the evening?
Fern is doing vocal exercises while just doing fencing moves. She's, just practicing.
Tony sees you and is like, oh, hey. And Tony goes and gets a cutlass and does a flourish and bows deeply to you. On guard. And stuff.
Ugh. And she's doing like arpeggio, like la la la, like da 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 da.
And he's like big two-hand clearly telegraphing his strikes to make sure he doesn't harm you.
Oh, and she just circle parries them away. She's very delicate, but very swift at the same time.
Then he realizes you're good and starts to get into it. And, he's a little himbo-y, but he's good with a sword. He's very agile and strong, and it's actually a very decent workout. And for a moment, like, you're able to take him seriously as a person. As soon as the sword fight's over, it's like, hey! And it's like gone immediately. But for that moment, just in his physicality, he's impressive.
Wipes a slight glow of perspiration. No actual drops have formed, but she's just patting her forehead. Good game.
Wow, you're great.
I know.
Oh, man, I picked a good boat. It's the best crew ever.
Now, go leave me alone before I push you off the boat again.
All right. And he just drops the sword and goes back to swapping the deck. Happy as can be.
She just starts stretching and meditating.
Does this boat have a figurehead on it, like at the front?
Yes, it does. Would you like to tell me what you want it to be?
Oh, I was picturing just mermaid with a huge rack. That's where I was.
Maybe the rack is more interactive. It's like
it would jiggle physics.
The boobs are like two orbs inside a hollowed out area. So as the waves go up and down, they shift and roll with the waves as you go. And you can constantly hear them turning inside the sockets.
Which is so exciting for what I was gonna say, and I'm not gonna change what I was gonna say because of it. I was gonna say I was just gonna be like sitting on top of the figurehead. And I think I still am. I'm just bobbing and weaving with the mermaid tit.
You're sitting over it and just casually rolling the boobs with your feet, like you're not even thinking about it.
It's a fun stimming exercise. I just wanted somewhere fun to be that's out of the way. I think Rory's letting all of the non-Paragon, all the real world feelings back in a little bit of like, wow, I was in the way a lot today.
You're on the front of a ship and there's, seawater and blasting. You see a dolphin once in a while. It's getting dark at night, but it's still pretty magical.
Yeah, that's just where I'm hanging out. Just off to the side, hanging out with the mermaid and her boobs.
After, a standard amount of brooding, I'm going to go actually seek out Anna.
You come around the back and you see the glint of Anna's hair, just caught perfectly in a ray of moonlight. And as you come around, you see that she's got Tony's head bent back and she's got her fangs sunk deep into them. Tony's mouth is kind of open, his eyes are wide. He looks like he's struggling and in pain, and her eyes are now just flashed blood red and look all of the predator.
Rush in and pull her off of Tony.
Roll me a strength check.
6 and a 2.
You managed to pull her off, but just barely. Her eyes flash to yours with all this menace and hate, and she just hurls you against the side of the ship. Effortlessly flings you to the side and smashes you against the wood, and then composes herself. Tony kind of staggers out of her, a grasp. Go lie down for a while. You'll be fine. Hey, how's it going, Lucas?
I still haven't been able to decide if you're actually you.
She takes your hand and pushes it against her chest, and you can feel the thrumming of her heart. It's alive and awake and excited and radiating heat. It's me. It's enough of me.
And that Tony, he's not like this, not like you.
No, Tony's just Tony.
If I'm going to be playing around in this space, in this story, this narrative that we built up, I'm supposed to try and stop you from eating all the crew?
Well, I'm not gonna hurt her more than I need to. Girl's gotta eat. But think of it this way. I'm me, but I'm more of me. You're more of you too. You can do whatever you want here. You're not held back like you were before. Not restricted. Different rules.
See, that's exactly why we split. You treated everything like a playground.
Everything is a playground, Lucas. Always so serious. Gotta make sure all of our numbers are up. Gotta post every Tuesday at 9 a.m. because that's what the metrics say. That's why we broke up. You just couldn't relax. You couldn't enjoy it, Lucas.
What if we start over?
All these numbers you wanted, you got all these people, you got all this money, all these nice clothes, and you don't like any of it.
See, and then that's where the seams start to show. I know that's not why we broke up, because that's what you said. That's what you said back then, but that's not what you meant. You just used all of that, shoved it in front to distract from the fact that you use people, and when called out on it, you would make an even bigger distraction.
Gosh, guess you're a buzzkill. Okay, so you got me. So I'm not the best person in the world. Honey, you know what we do. You know where we live. If you haven't toughened up yet, you're never going to.
I don't think I belong in that world anymore. I decided. I thought that you were an exception to the rule, and there was enough out there, enough good out there, people that respected other folks that were willing to make the world better. But no, just at every single level, there's a bloodsucker, there's a vampire, there is, for every Tony, there's a you.
Almost as if she teleports, she's suddenly right by your side and slams a hand into the wood next to you, punching a hole through it. Her strength is incredible. And she leans in real close to you, looks you right in the eyes. I'm everything I need to be. You're the one struggling, darling. And then gives you a little kiss on the cheek and turns to walk away.
I stop her and just go, Anna, if that's really you on the other side of this, I want nothing more than for you to feel, I want you to be able to reciprocate and feel the same amount of love that everyone around you that you've used had felt for you.
She stops for a moment, and despite herself, one little blood-red tear slides out of the corner of her eye, and she nods, and she says, there he is. There's Lucas, right there. And she smiles honestly at you and turns and heads down below decks for the night.
I shake off the chills after a good 2 or 3 seconds of her leaving the doorway.
And you all go to bed and wake up to a serene morning. Lucas, as you awake, you are greeted by your neotech. Good morning! Welcome to the second day of your Vibe Tech experience. Now, right before you had gone to bed, you were told by your machine that time is going to be running up, so you better just feed the coin in now. Alex, help me out with this. Can he charge things in advance?
You use a fair gold to keep the gift activated for the next day until next dawn.
But you can't overcharge it for the next day, just to activate it.
But you can't overcharge in advance because overcharge is like a single use.
Also, something we haven't been doing with overcharge that I should have been doing. Whenever you overcharge, you roll a d10. If it's even, there's a complication.
That's right.
If it's odd, it works exactly as it should. Mm-hmm. Since you were in your trial period, that didn't affect you. However, going forward, that is one of the rules. Whenever you overcharge, there's a chance something goes a little off.
Okay.
You chose the teleporter. So the teleporter is what you activate every day with the fair gold. With an overcharge, you can mimic any of the other ones or an upgrade for the teleporter as well.
Then yeah, so with the, what was it, 3 remaining fair gold I have, what can I do with this?
It looks like you're trying to
conserve fair gold.
Would you like my help?
Yes, please, Vibe.
You slap those 3 coins in, and your AI super activates. And suddenly you get rocketed, like you are been lifted off the deck and you are rocketed into the air. It takes you a second to realize you're not rocketed into the air. It's just this AI overface now, but you are now a satellite in orbit around this planet, and you see it for what it is. A spinning 20-sided die, and you see your boat sailing through the center of one of the facets of this die, filled almost all in ocean. Mountains perfectly border the edges on all three sides, but there's a gap towards the north, and at this gap are these gargantuan walls that meet perfectly along the edge and form a gigantic lock to allow ships to get over the hump of a 20-degree angle going from one ocean into the other. On this wall, you see stories of every hero in this land, this wall of honor that exists here at the edge of the map. And you see sections for Rory and sections for Deliria and Jen, even a little section for Andrea, and this huge section of wall for Lucas. But it's all covered up in tarps and scaffolding because it's currently being worked on and you can't see it.
Very cool. Holy butts.
And then you see Jacob's Island, and you see the radio tower, and you zoom into it, and you see floor plans and layouts, and then you see a little red dot and a flag that says Jacob Prime.
His last name was Prime. Okay.
His last name was not Prime. His last name was Mateo. Prime is an identifier to tell you that he is the one you are looking for. He is the true Jacob.
And then the flag changes to parentheses, true Jacob.
Okay. So I'm trying to commit as much of this like map to memory, especially of the island.
As you're doing that, it's just downloading.
Yeah.
Downloading whole blueprints and saving them locally. Like it's recording everything for you. It's all being filed away. As you do that, you guys hear a triangle bell being rung. Breakfast! Breakfast!
Oh, he cooks too.
I imagine it's great.
Out on the deck, Tony has drug a table and chairs up onto the deck. It was really nice this morning, so I thought we'd eat out here. And he's put out somehow eggs and toast and some chicken and a bunch of fruit. Like there is a spread, and of course wine. There is a spread laid out for all of you. Come on and get it, it's really good.
Where did all this food come from?
Well, it's a fully stocked ship. Like there's a restaurant, and we would use the ship for storage. So it's got a bunch of stuff down there. Like we could eat like kings for days.
Oh. Huh. Well, in that case, I'm gonna sit down and eat.
And he pulls a chair out and pushes you in.
Thank you, Tony.
Sure beats my oatmeal.
It's good too. Like he did a good job. It's impressive. Like there's some good skills here. It's all basic, like it's hearty food, right? But it's all seasoned really well. It's a nice selection of fruit. The wine's pretty good. It's a good way to start the morning.
What's his neck look like?
He's got 2 puncture holes in his neck and some bruising around them. But otherwise than that, he's all right. He just looks a little pale.
When I get my plate from Tony, I kind of narrow my eyes. Are you feeling okay?
I'm always a little woozy whenever she feeds on me. But yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, she does what?
What?
Oh, well, she's a vampire, and she needs blood once in a while, because they can't just eat food. Otherwise, I'd cook for her.
I won't push you off the ship today.
I really can't swim that well, to be honest. I'm a little tired, so maybe tomorrow. Or maybe not in the middle of the ocean. He makes sure all your glasses are filled.
Wait, did everyone know she was a vampire?
Oh, yeah. You weren't there for that part, I think.
Doesn't bother me much.
We have a Dracula situation.
She's not up right now. She's sleeping in.
During the day, yeah.
I mean, I don't think I'm even offended by this. It's just kind of cool. Yeah, no, I think, yeah, it's cool. I guess Tony's fine. Everyone's fine. We have breakfast. We're on a ship. There's vampire, pirate, cap. That's a bit of a mashup, but sure, whatever.
Location update. You will arrive at your destination in approximately 20 minutes.
Okay, look alive, folks.
I mean, that's a little insensitive. We're just talking about vampires. Just like that's.
She's not here.
Oh, she's not here. Oh, okay, that's fine. I hate her.
Okay, and then so where we're going right now is the Nomad.
You're going to the Nomad, which is currently captained by the first guest of the show, Naomi, and her band of orcs.
Okay, so once we get the Nomad, I know where Jacob is. I know where to go once we take it back from Naomi.
Well, what's the rush? Maybe we want to think about bringing Tony with us as well?
I'm part of the crew, right?
Yeah.
You don't have some sort of like pact with Anna, right? You're not like a honorary.
Oh, with Anna? No, like I like her, but like we're more like work friends. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're like a familiar or like a blood bag, or what do you call yourself, I guess?
Oh, you know, I've heard her use those terms. It's really affectionate.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Cool. I guess you're coming with us.
Yeah, you guys are my crew. We're crew. And he puts his hand in for hands in. Go crew!
That's right.
Go crew.
Yeah.
And he starts picking up dishes and cleaning up, happy as can be.
But we could take our time with this. I mean, now that Tony's on board, maybe we could, like, you know, stop by another place to eat. Check out the local sites.
Does anyone have a map? Like, did anyone check if there's any maps on the ship? Does Tony have any maps of everything, of anything?
I have maps of everything.
Yeah, but only I can see them. That's the problem, vibe.
Not right now. There is a like whirring and a ka-chunk, and you feel like when you're in the eye doctor, when they put those lenses over your eyes,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you feel that behind your eyeballs.
Oh, no.
And as that happens, your eyes just project a 3D hologram of the world of Die.
What is happening?
Whoa.
Great.
Oh, you can do that.
Apparently I can do that.
You can also reach out and touch it, spin it around, zoom in and out.
Oh, you're like a cyborg.
Sure, yeah, I'm a cyborg.
We are not a cyborg. We are your officially licensed Vibe Neotech.
And I'm going to point to where the Nomad is and where the island is. If we want to get out of here, I think we need to do this sort of path over here.
So we take the eggs and we go to the fruit basket, and the toast is the ship?
No, so you zoom into this 3D map and you see now a 3D representation of your ship, the Booty, with a little table in the middle of it, with people looking down over the table, over a tiny little map. And if you could keep like descending into it forever. This is a live representation of you. You see you, and then it pulls out a bit and you see your ship going north and curving a little bit to the east in order to intercept the Nomad, which is sailing due east. And then it widens out further, and beyond that is the Sea of Inequity. And it's a dark and stormy place. And then just past that are these huge gates. And when you pass through those gates and into the next facet of the world of Die, there is Jacob's tower alone on this volcanic island.
Why do we need to stop, Deliria?
Oh, I mean, I just figured I'm having such a good time with all of you. Like, you know, Rory and I, we're now just starting to bond. I figured, you know, let's...
Everyone looks at Rory.
Yeah, no, it's definitely bonding.
Also, this is great material for me for later on when we talk about the reboot and get that into production, right?
You do feel, Deliria, like you could write this. This is exactly what you've always been told. This is the hardest part you had with fantasy. Write what you know. You could never do it. Now you can.
This is exactly what I need. I need this.
Jacob said the same thing. Jacob said before he wizarded himself away, he said, I need this. Deliria, is it you? Is it Jacob? Just like putting my hand through Deliria just to see if it's a hologram.
What are you doing? I'm right here.
Sorry.
Deliria's covered with nails. You might want to be careful.
Yeah, just like very carefully put my hand through Deliria.
Just so we're all reminded, exactly what does Deliria look like right now?
Very much Hellraiser-ish.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's very Cenobite across the table right now. So it's really disturbing when she's eating.
You can see the food going down through the ribcage.
Right.
Oh, God.
You can just see all the neck muscles working in ways they should not work.
I wish you would all stop staring at me when I'm eating.
It's really hard. It's really hard to not look at you.
The nails actually help guide food towards her mouth.
It's such a cool visual.
No, but seriously, I need this.
Look, I know you need this, but I want to go home. And we need Jacob to do that.
Okay, Fern. I don't want to do this, but what do you have at home?
What do you mean? I have my home, my job, the kids. I have things to do. People who depend on me. May not be famous. And she looks at Lucas. May not own a business. She looks at Rory. But I'm still part of the community. And sure, we can have detours. I just want to let everybody know that I want to go home.
Fern has stuff to go home for. A family, a life, a real thing they've built for themselves. Something that a lot of you don't have. How does that make you all feel in this moment?
I think there's a bit of sadness there with Lucas, but also a bit of hope, because given the conversation last night with Anna, there's a drive there, there's a want there, and there's, with all of this, there's like something that Anna said was like, nothing is really stopping you from doing what you want and getting what you want, and that's true of the real world. And so if that's what I want, then sure, like I'm gonna do it. So there's a bit of hope there.
I think Deliria is full of jealousy and resentment, because even though she has a family that probably closely resembles to what Fern has, it's different in the sense that like her wants and her needs are different, and she's not getting fulfillment from her family at home.
Fern's family just always seems so easy. Whenever they check in, just these simple things are so easy for them. How about Rory?
I think the initial feeling is almost like condescension. Sort of like, well, that's very cute. But like, that's just the initial, and then it just kind of like, oh, it is cute. That's really cute.
Yeah, the walls go up right away and then come right back down.
Yep.
All right. Then you suddenly hear a shout from above you. Tony has gotten into the crow's nest and has a full spyglass out. Ship ahoy!
Just looking at the map, is that the? Sorry, can you move the bananas away?
Clear some fruit and bread, and yes, you can see the Nomad is continuing due east, and you are curving up along her side and matching her speed.
Are we intercepting?
You are intercepting.
Are we going to board a ship?
So far, that seems to be the plan.
We're gonna board the ship.
We're pirates now.
We're pirates now.
That's what we do. How do I turn this off? And
it just gets sucked back, and
Okay,
you hear
cool.
the chink chink as both the lenses shift behind your eyes.
Okay.
And as you do, you see the sails of the Nomad crest over the horizon. What does the Nomad look like?
Ooh, there's a water bearer flag for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking lots of teals and ivories.
Ooh, pretty.
Pictures
yeah.
of like one of those like really, symbolic cresting waves on the sails.
Not too dissimilar from the motif on Andrea's armor. Andrea's armor has definitely like gone for the what's the most comic accurate representation for the cosplay.
I'll say like something that I'll contribute to the visual is it looks sleeker than most other boats. That's why it's so fast.
Absolutely. It's very angular. It's all like a lot of edges and all. It looks streamlined, like it was made in an air tunnel when the thing currently did not exist here. But it looks like it was made with that type of technology.
I mean, yeah, it is. It isn't just wood. There's alien bits of like, it's not quite steampunk. It's more of a kind of neotech, I guess, like kind of like what Lucas's technology looks like. Yeah.
There's little bowls or little circles of water held in suspension with some sort of translucent sack that ends like with this big mechanical top and some lights around it, and it's just filled with that phosphorescent glow. So instead of torches, there's water that makes light all around the ship.
I love that.
Does it have a figurehead?
Oh, sure. What is it?
It's got it.
It's a very classy looking lady with a blue dress that drapes downward that curls into those wave patterns around the front. And she's holding a very simple water jug that real water is sloshing around in as it bobs up and down.
That is a magical jug that always produces fresh water. So no matter where you are out to sea, you always have fresh water. And she looks perfect. The ship still, it could use a coat of fresh paint here and there, and there's some patches in the sail, but she's a gorgeous ship. Tony swings down from the crow's nest, alights on the deck, hands you the spyglass. Here, take a look. And there are orcs everywhere on deck, mooning you, flipping you off, giving you the British V. Like every obscene gesture you can think of is being thrown at your ship right now.
They are asking for it.
I mean, that's really insensitive of you, Rory. I mean, no one ever is really asking for it. I mean...
They said, come and get it.
They literally said, come and get it. They have signs, badly spelled.
Steel ship.
Come and it get. Come and it get.
They're in the wrong order.
They're literally flipping us off right now.
All right, so no plan. We just go in.
Yeah.
I guess, okay, problematic fave, but sure, I'll go with it.
Your mom sucks!
I know!
And you can see cannons rolling to the side of the ship facing you.
Oh, okay, now they're asking for it.
Do we have cannons?
Oh.
Do we have cannons?
No. No, you have a lot of rum and food and a bunch of...
This is a showboat.
Do you have a shit ton of fireworks?
Ooh!
Pyrotechnics.
Love a firework.
Boxes and boxes of very poorly stored fireworks.
We have fireworks. We have...
Do you have any really big ones?
The Booty is known for their big fireworks show. So absolutely. You even have a couple of them that'll like burst into like a parrot, or, you know, not a good one. Like it's like roughly a parrot. They're usually kind of like a malformed with one giant eye, but it's roughly a parrot.
Taking in all of like the idea of the fireworks and seeing the ship and seeing the orcs and everything, I think the intensity of the amazement that Andrea is feeling is going back up to 2.
You absolutely are going right back up to 2.
I'm just dragging a fireworks bomb.
And he is just going to like launch the chain up into our own crow's nest and swing himself, and like not even wait for the others to come through, just swing himself onto the other boat and just land in the middle of the orcs.
As the boat is pulling up, you clear 100 feet, swing over the edge, and land just as the first cannons begin to fire off. I would like Andre to act first, and then the rest of you go in order according to your dexterities.
This might be quick, but would you say this is a mob of orcs?
Yes, there is a mob of orcs on the deck of the ship. There are at least a dozen of them who, as soon as you land, rush in towards you. They're all wearing the same symbology. So they all have the wave symbol over these kind of dingy tunics that they're wearing, but they're a little bit more organized than most orcs. They seem to have like a real calling aboard this ship. They also all have tattoos on their arms of big iron gates for the gatekeepers.
Hey, no one gatekeeps
but me.
and he is going to use creative violence to try and defeat the entire mob. Which means he gets to roll his d8. If I beat a 2, it works perfectly. If I don't, it still works, but you or someone else close to you suffers wounds equal to the result, and there are complications to the success.
Wow.
That is a 1.
Oh no.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
How do you clear this deck of orcs?
Swinging the chain is wrapping around, like decapitating each of them with each click. Just like wrapping around each neck and pulling them off. Cackling. It's full-on manic laughter and just like swinging around the ship, swinging around, using orcs to beat other orcs. Chucking them out into the sea. Everyone else on the other ship is just gonna go, should we like intervene? Should we do anything?
Smacking orcs down left and right. At first, it's comedic. Then it gets a little scary. Then it's just explosions and viscera and screaming and barrels being splintered. Debris is shot your way and you all duck down as this tornado of violence destroys every single orc on deck. And there's just this weird silence that falls over all of you, as even from what you've seen so far, this is a stunning display of power. And then you hear a and you turn, and Tony has been embedded straight through his chest with this huge piece of wood.
No!
You bastard.
There's no way he's gonna make it.
No. Tony!
Tony!
No, Tony!
Tony!
Is that the someone who suffered the wounds, or is that the complication?
That's just someone who suffered the wounds.
Whoa.
Okay, there is also a complication you get to add to this. But before that, Andrea, as everything ends, Andrea's just like, okay, that was pretty amazing. And just faints to the ground.
Thunk.
Did you know they could do that?
And other orcs are coming on to the deck as Tony dies behind you and his blood spills out onto yours. And then you feel the boat lurch because the complication is that there was a larger piece that struck below the waterline and you are starting to list. Replay is sponsored by Adventure Dice. Adventure Dice is your Canadian source for dice, role-playing game books, and accessories, and other tabletop gaming goodies. Many of our products are handcrafted in Canada. We're dedicated to creating gaming spaces that are safe, accessible, and welcoming to everyone. As gamers ourselves, we believe in offering quality products that we would use at our own table. Find us at your friendly local gaming store, at conventions, and online at www.adventuredice.ca.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But we also sell merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell and grow at every stage of your business, from the launch your online shop stage all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. They have an all-in-one e-commerce platform and in-person POS system, so wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. With the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms, Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers. Shopify has allowed us to share something tangible with the podcast community we've built here, selling our beanies, sweatshirts, and mugs to fans of our shows without taking up too much time from all the other work we do to bring you even more great content. And it's not just us. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US. Shopify is also the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/REALM now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/realm.
Who amongst you do you think would act next?
Fern as a protective feeling over Andrea, even though they annoy her.
Oh yeah.
She immediately reaches her ribbons over to the other crow's nest and tries to swing over.
It's easy. You guys are within a short distance of each other. You have pretty good mastery over your own abilities at this point, and you're able just to reach over, grab it, kind of like lift yourself up and over with the ribbons, like you feel them get strong, like they're able to push you up off the deck just for a moment, and then gracefully alights you on the other side, just as more orcs are rushing to the top.
How many more are there?
About a dozen more.
Dozen more. She unsheathes her sword, and the ribbons are spinning, and she just has her eyes closed. Okay, we can do this. She just starts running forward toward Andrea's body, toward the first orc.
Roll whatever you would attack with your ribbons.
That is dexterity. She's got a 1, a 4, and a 5.
I'm just going to roll a quick strength check here. That is 2 1s and a 2. So you just fling this orc into the water and get right over Andrea, who is starting to wake up, but very out of it.
Yeah, she pulls them up so that they're sitting up and patting them on the back. Now, are you with us?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you're just not into it. There's nothing in you. You don't have the ability to generate excitement. You flushed it all out.
She doesn't understand what's happening. She's like, are you going to fight or no?
Sure. I mean...
Yeah, I guess.
Point me in the... Oh, Chain? Still here?
Yeah, I guess I am here too.
I think I get it now. Yeah, sure, we'll fight.
It gets worse every time.
Yay.
Yay.
And she kind of spins you around to look
as the orcs are descending
at the oncoming horde.
Who's next?
I want to point at Lucas and go, don't teleport without me.
I was gonna say, are you? No one else is staying, right?
Can you give me a second? I want to go find the vampire on deck, who's asleep somewhere else.
There's just a big ass coffin below decks. It's pretty though. Like it's all in purple heartwood, and it's got engravings all along the edges. Yeah.
She has such taste.
Rory, just leave her a note.
She's gonna be at the bottom of the ocean, and I'm not having a vampire enemy. Not today.
Trust me, she will find a way to find you, no matter what.
I want her to be on our side. Knock, 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 knock.
The doors open. They're dual doors. She has dual coffin doors, and they just open up, and inside it's just lovely. There's pillows and lace, and she's got a couple dolls, and she's just curled up there, and she wakes up perfect. A glitter pours out of the coffin. And she yawns and stretches, and she's like, oh, hey, you're nice to see in the morning. Wait.
That's very sweet.
It's morning.
It is morning. The ship is sinking. Yeah.
Why do ships do that? We had a deal.
Ship is sinking. You can come to the next ship, though, and there's orc blood there, and also non-orc blood depending on how Naomi is.
Orcs? Ugh, fine.
A bunch of them died already, so.
No, they're just like rice cakes. They're just there. Whatever, let's go.
Non-orc blood pending. We'll see after we talk to Naomi.
All right, and she nods and she follows along, moping.
I'll help her carry her coffin.
Oh, right. No, she just chucks that onto her shoulder like it's nothing. She is very strong, and she walks up behind you.
Sick. I'm not strong, so.
I'm gonna pull out the one coin that I have for the day and slot it in.
You don't have a fair gold to overcharge right now.
I don't.
You don't.
Mechanically, no, but the GM can offer a deal. But we do have a god binder.
We do have a god binder, though.
What do I need to do?
As you're trying to figure that out, Kappa, because you realize you don't have the credits to get ahead in the game, there's a fog that just seems to roll up on all of you.
I thought you'd never ask. What do you want?
Oh, Holy One. Oh, can you all see this?
They can, should you choose.
Yes, I would love to introduce you to my, people that I travel with.
There is a cracking of thunder and a storm suddenly on the horizon. Darkness seems to descend all around you, and a voice, a gurgling, drowning, roaring, monstrous voice thunders into all of your ears.
I am the deep.
My liege, we must get from this ship to the other. Somehow.
Consider it done. Hold on tight.
A rogue wave, suddenly swells from underneath the boat. You are lifted up, shifted sideways, and slammed against the side of your boat. Not hard enough to wreck it, just hard enough to deliver you. You are now, bam, right there against the side of the boat, perfectly nestled up against it, with the waves keeping you together as your boats slam together and push forward.
Hey, we should get up.
Yeah, I'm running on.
You gain one more god debt.
Okay.
Fully terrified of what just happened.
Thank you, Holy One. I will one day repay all of this debt.
Of course you will, my perfect child. Go, Ren, send them to the deep.
And we heard all of that?
Yes, you heard all of that.
Vibe doesn't feel that bad anymore.
Oh, does yours not sound like that? I wasn't sure.
Desperately no.
We have many interfaces. We can download audio packs if you wish.
Yes, download. Wait, I can't hear them. I forgot.
Okay, so we're on the ship.
All together now in a circle in the middle as orcs are closing. Well, a couple less orcs because some of them got smushed, but there are orcs now closing in around you, about 9 of them, I'd say.
I am going to, instead of using the fair gold to teleport all of us, I'm going to teleport something inside of another thing.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
there's a bunch of things: bottles, hooks, lengths of rope, and one saber just lying across the deck.
Ooh, that looks cool. I'm going to, what I'm going to do is teleport that into the nearest orc. And as the orc falls over, I'm going to grab the saber and pull it out.
I'd like you to roll your intelligence plus your neo die.
Ooh, my neo die. 3, 5, and 8 on the neo die.
Yo!
Yo!
That's 2 successes and a special. And the special for the telefrag is the target suffers 1 wound.
This cutlass just appears in this orc's head, right through the temple, coming out the other side like a cartoon arrow. And it just stops right before it gets to you and freezes, just enough time for you to grab the hilt and hold it in midair as the orc collapses and slides off your blade.
Yeah. Okay. This is what's happening now.
And the orc behind him immediately charges you. Goes to tackle. 2, 2, and a 4. So only 1 success. I believe you have a guard of 1, correct?
No, defense 0 for the Neo.
Okay, so this orc does slam into you, but you're able to roll with it. Again, you're stronger and faster than you've ever been, and they just tumble off to the side, but you have 1 guard down for this encounter.
Okay, 1 guard down.
Who's up next?
How many orcs are left?
8 orcs left.
I'd like to clear up some god debt.
Okay.
And I would also like to use my sacrificial knife, but that's probably too much at the same time. So
you can use the sacrificial knife to kill people to send them to the deep and therefore clearing god debt while doing so.
100% you can.
Okay, I will do that. Yes, I will aim to do that. So I'll have to roll all my dice, right?
All your wisdom plus your d12.
All right, I got a 1, 4, 3, and then on the d12, it's a 4.
Okay, so 2 successes. Just gonna roll a strength check for this orc. Oh God, they're rolling terribly. Okay, yeah. So one of them charges at you. You just spin around, and how do you dispatch this orc and send him to the deep? What do you say?
One of the knives I have embedded into my skin glows, creating the sacrificial knife, and I pull it off of my skin, out from.
Yes.
Not out of, off the skin.
Yes. It almost gets pushed to the surface and then becomes just so translucent that it easily tears away.
It's like
cool.
covered in like a viscous,
It's shiny and wet in a very disturbing way.
And I throw it at the orc, aiming for its neck.
If you cause yourself a wound, so take 1 hit to your health, you can roll an extra d6.
Then I will do that. I will.
Well, the wound is caused when you remove the knife.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it gives you an advantage.
Okay, then you tear it away. It leaves a gash in your leg. There's pain, but you hear a rumbling. This deep, satisfied rumbling that just causes your entire body to vibrate as if it was purring. It feels good. And I'd like you to roll an extra d6.
Yes. That's a 3.
Okay, still, you got everything you needed. You send this thing directly in. You just spin around this orc, send a blade directly into its neck. It stumbles, pirouettes, looks at you with big eyes, and then almost gracefully tumbles into the water. And you hear a very satisfied laugh. And 1 god debt has been removed from what you owe.
Is it manifested for you anywhere that we can see visibly, or is it just in the ether that you know this?
It's just in the ether. It's not like with your power. It's not like with the Neo where there's something going on. This is a god. They are as visible or not visible as they wish to be. However, they have been asked to be visible. So as the body falls off the deck and hits the water, there's a bolt of lightning that strikes at the same moment the body hits the water.
Oh, that's so cool.
Wow.
The smell of ozone drifts across your boats. And another orc comes in to attack, and this one is going for Andrea. No, actually, I'm sorry. This one's going for the Neo. The Neo just teleported a bunch of people on board. And that is going to be a 5, a 4, and a 4. So this one just comes straight for you with a haymaker and clucks you one good. It breaks through your defense. It catches you faster than you expected it. And you just are rooked to the side, hit harder than you've been hit in a very long time. And you take 1 off of your health as it beats through your guard down to 0 and off your health. How many health do you have left?
I have 1 health left.
Yeah, you got hit hard. You're seeing stars right now.
The heads-up display that I could see is flashing red and back to the normal white.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm at low health.
Impact alert. Impact alert. It looks like you're trying
not to die.
Would you like my help?
As you get rocked for the first time in this world, as you get hit, you are suddenly very much grounded in the reality of this world. Pain is still real. Blood is still real. The inside of your lip that you spit out onto the deck is real. How does that pain link to a memory? What's the last time you got hit this hard?
It was very recently after I had left. The show was still going on. I was back in town because I was off, and I went to the recording studio and I saw y'all having fun through the window and felt out of place there. Like, I couldn't imagine myself in that space without it being awkward, and now there's a twinge of pain, and so I left.
Yeah, that was a real punch to the gut. It was a metaphorical punch, but you felt it hard.
Yeah, because that felt very self-inflicted, but also unavoidable, much like that punch.
That was an unavoidable punch as you are rocked back into reality. I believe Deliri's the last one up, right? Your god is cackling. The storm is rolling. The boats are rocking back and forth and bumping against each other. The smell of fresh ozone from the lightning fills your nostrils.
I look around and see this sort of action scene where everyone's fighting one another. It's sort of like in slow motion, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to clear another god debt by holding up another sacrificial knife, so ripping it off of my my leg this time, and watching it glow in my hands and throwing it into the chaos, and seeing it where it lands.
And just trusting it'll land where it needs to land.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll land somewhere.
How much health does Deliria have left after 2 wounds?
That is a good question.
I believe you have 3 health, right?
Yeah, so I have 1 health left.
Yeah, so you tear out another one, and now you are starting to feel it. Like, the blood is leaving you. You're woozy, but it's an elation. Like, you're now entering a higher religious fanaticism with this blood loss and wooziness and the energy that's now rushing and all the endorphins through your body as you rip another knife off and hurl it into the center. Roll your wisdom, roll your god die, roll another d6 of advantage.
I got a 1, 2, 4, 5, and a 2.
Okay, that's enough. What do you strike? How does your knife find its target?
I think it strikes the orc that's closest to Rory.
Just as they were coming down on top of Rory, and Rory was like winding up a fist to send him right back, this knife just flies right past your ear, strikes it between the eyes, and then stumbles onto the deck and flops over into the water. And another bolt of lightning and another god debt is struck from the record. Then you just hear, enough! And everyone kind of freezes for a moment, and Naomi walks onto the deck. How does Naomi look?
We said Naomi was the popular kid, liked by everyone.
Tall, athletic, strong.
Kind of terrible like terrible person, but loved by everyone.
20 years later, though, so.
But 20 years later,
I think she's still stupendous.
Time has been good to them.
Does she look different to each person that's here?
No, she looks the same to all of you, but that's a really good question. I like that quite a lot. She looks the same to all of you, but she looks great and powerful. She looks exactly what you expect Naomi to look like.
Like someone who does Pilates.
Yes.
Naomi and Anna go to the same gym.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
They have the same spin instructor. Like,
it was really awkward, but it's a great gym, and neither of you were going to leave, so you just kind of decided to go with it. You don't talk to each other. It's the one little nod whenever you see each other. There's that one nod of acknowledgement, and then you just go your separate ways.
I think she's got like one of those really long captain's jackets with the giant like frill pauldron things.
She does, with lots of folds in it.
Sleeveless.
Lots of like deep and heavy folds. And it's funny you mention that because as soon as you do, a green sock pops up over the edge with a big yellow felt beak and hand-drawn feathers all over it and googly eyes and a big shock of red feathers off of the top.
Squawk! Hey, suckers! Squawk!
And the edge of the arm just goes back into the folds of the coat, and it keeps popping from one shoulder onto the next, but you never see where the edge of that arm goes.
Looks like we got stowaways! Squawk!
Fern is so mad.
I was gonna say I was intimidated, but I don't think we can be intimidated anymore by this.
No, it is very much like Muppet Pirate Island right now with this very serious character.
Yeah.
And this hand puppet off the side.
Squawk! Look at these losers! Squawk!
Fern is so angry because she had to paint that goddamn parrot.
What's the parrot's name?
Oh.
Polyester.
Polyester.
Wow.
Polyester.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Perfect.
That was good. That was very good.
Yo.
that's so delightful.
So good.
Polly wants a cracker.
Settle down, Polly. These are our guests. Gentlemen, do you know who you're in audience with? These are the original water bearers. And you see the orcs' eyes light up and they realize what they've done and they all just kind of lean back and then they get on their knees and like, we're so sorry. Oh, we didn't know, like, we know who they are. Like, you knew, and one of them just decks the other one. Yeah, John knew all along. You want us to throw him over?
I'm gonna lean over to Fern and just, I don't remember Naomi having an accent.
I don't remember much at all, actually.
Naomi went overseas one summer and came back with an accent.
The Madonna accent?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do you have our ship?
Your ship? No, you weren't on it at the time. Someone had to look after it. It was just sitting in a dock, so sad, with its sails all closed. Look at it here, so beautiful and happy. Until you all came along and rudely interrupted my day.
We're back for it now, so toss over the keys.
I can see that. Well, the ship doesn't have keys. That's probably the first thing you should learn. However, I understand that you have a claim here.
It's a turn of phrase.
How about this? Where you headed?
Volcano, island, tower, thing. I think, Deliria, you said you wanted a detour? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, maybe like a nice detour would be nice. I mean, like we could just go get brunch somewhere. You always liked brunch, right? Remember that time you came back from, where was it, London after 2 weeks, and then you got that accent that confused everyone.
It was London, but for some reason the accent's not British.
Yeah.
As you mention brunch, she glances over at this gorgeous spread that is now sinking below the waves. I know where you are headed. You can drop me off on an island nearby. I've got backup plans. You always need backup plans when you're around this crew.
What are you up to? Big, exciting moves?
Well, I was shepherding some very precious cargo, and she leads you down into the ship and into your hold, which you had to build because you guys got into so many fights and took so many people. Like you need to be somewhere that you had to build a little prison on your ship in order for it to work. And she leads you down into that hold, and inside there, on a table with a ray of light that's coming in through a broken floorboard above it, is this perfectly preserved reel-to-reel machine filled with a tape, and next to it are just tins. Episode 1, Episode 2, the Fireflight Trials. There's all these labels of everything, and your entire journey is laid out here, kept behind bars, for no one to hear except this small group of orcs in the middle of the ocean.
Where were you shepherding to?
We just keep them out here. The orcs are loyal. They like the story. Well, they like the original stories, before the show went soft.
Wait, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Andrea just like waking up a little bit. It's like the show didn't go soft. It was a post-apocalyptic flood that they had to come up with because they had to get rid of you because you ruined the show.
Storylines seem contrived.
Wasn't even in it. You wouldn't even know if it wasn't because of me. If it wasn't because of me, none of you would have anything to listen to.
And your chain rumbles a little bit. Just a little bit excited at that. It's the first excitement you've seen from the chain so far.
I think that is strong enough a surprise that I'm going to bump myself back up to 1.
There you go.
But I am going to shut up.
So how about that for a deal? We'll sail you on, across the ocean. Not an easy task sailing across the ocean, mind you. And when we get there, you just drop me and my crew off. We go our separate ways. Just like we always do.
And you'll be taking these?
And she looks over at the tapes and she laughs. I don't really hold on to things like you all do. I think my time with the tapes is done. Do with them what you please.
That sounds fine to me. What about everyone else?
And the orcs kind of look back and forth, and they seem to be thinking very, very hard. And they kind of huddle up, and they one moment sidebar, and they all kind of cuddle together, look back up, look down again, and they break. Sidebar done. We fine. Yes, we do this. New lot life. Anew. Live land now. Be proud. Farm, perhaps. Yes, we have accepted fate.
Sorry, and you call yourselves fans of the show?
That's just it.
They found out that their gods are here, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
The old tapes don't matter. There's a new show to listen to.
That's just it.
There's brand new content.
Like
First time in years.
This is some very good content.
And they're being told by those gods to do this, and they are on board.
Just like that? You just take, what is this? Somehow Palpatine return kind of bullshit?
Don't know who that is. Sound like good plot. We enjoy. 5-star.
You know what? Doesn't seem that bad of a deal.
It just feels too easy.
It does. It does.
We can cross that bridge when we get to it.
How far do you need to go?
Kappa, on your visor, you get a little dot route. It's going to be a 2-day journey to cross the ocean, and then another day to cross through this lock. However, you're warned. Locks have been inoperable for some time as the code has been lost.
Yeah, I'm going to project the map out and just point out this is where we are, this is where we're going. This is going to be a bit of a problem. So I don't think we have the time to afford to argue with this. But it just doesn't feel right.
No. But
I'll point at Naomi. You left, or sorry, it was not.
You kicked her out. Lucas, you kicked her out.
I was voted off the island. Let's not mince words here. We're all amongst friends, aren't we?
You were pushed off a cliff. Get it right.
I like you. You seem like someone on my side.
No. No. Andrew just not sulks, but turns around and gives his shoulders and his back to Naomi.
How is the new show going, Rory?
It is in pre-production. Thank you for asking.
I've heard so many good things. Look forward to listening. I'm sure the rest of you do too. Now that we're all listeners. Well, I have to say, this boat is much more fun than the boat I was just on.
There she is. There she is.
I am so enjoying this. Thank you for waking me up. I would hate to have missed it. Hello, Naomi. So, shall we get on the way? Raise sails and all?
We've turned into an actual Uber.
Yes, you're in a car with all the people you hate.
Yeah.
All right. Then Naomi directs the orcs to raise sails. The ship turns north, and you head straight into the middle of the Sea of Inequity.
My name is Alex Valente, pronouns he, him. I am a bisexual bilingual Britallion on Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh land. I have been a cleaner, publishing intern, waiter, scare actor, editor, university lecturer, language teacher, shop manager, and more usually, a translator. I can be found in tiny writing on the credits page of books when publishers remember to name the translator, and lurking in TTRPG spaces when people forget I'm there.
I'm Banana. My pronouns are she, they, and he, and I'm a tabletop game designer and writer. I'm also the owner and co-founder of the RPG and small box board game publishing company, Game in a Curry. I love horror movies and cheesecake a lot. You can find me at Banana Chan Games on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, all of the social media.
I'm Jen De La Vega. You might know me as Vivian Lakewood on the Shadowrun podcast Fun City, Murkesa Maldar on the Stillfleet miniseries Float City, and The Keeper on Cozy City, a Brindlewood Bay mystery. I also happen to be a chef and cookbook author based in Brooklyn, New York. You can find me online as Randwiches. That's the word sandwiches, but replace the S with an R.
My name is Haley Whipjack, and I'm an educator, podcaster, and a passionate fan of making fun things. I am a co-host, game master, and a player on TTRPG Actual Play podcast Unprepared Casters, while also pursuing personal creative projects on my TikTok and YouTube channels.
My name is Christian, better known as Kappa in most online spaces. I use he, him pronouns. I am a performer, producer, and writer in the TTRPG space. I've produced, performed in, and organized events with Friends Roll Dice, Roll20, Asians Represent, Utopia, and many other groups and organizations to forward the work in uplifting marginalized identities in the TTRPG space. Occasionally, I'll appear as a guest in actual play streams, podcasts, and talk shows to lend my voice and expertise in storytelling and character-driven narratives.
And my name is Aram. I'm a producer, designer, photographer, and voice actor living in a quiet town off Lake Michigan. I'm a co-founder of the storytelling podcasting collective Dead Ghost Productions, co-host of the Dungeons & Dragons podcast Kill Every Monster, and the creator of God's Fall and of Now and Then. I also did the editing and sound design for Replay. You can find all of my shows and all of my social media at aram.gay.
Thank you for joining us for the launch of Dead Ghost Productions. We are a queer-run and owned studio and a proud member of the Realm Network.
Keep up to date with Replay and all of our projects by following us on Twitter at DeadGhostPro. Find all of our social media and all the shows we produce at deadghostpro.com. Listen to episodes of Replay early and ad-free at patreon.com/deadghostpro. This show was produced and edited by Dead Ghost Productions. Find out more about us and all the shows we make at deadghostpro.com.